Hey guys, it's Chris. Now today, the trailer for F1 25 finally released, so we're going to be talking about all the new features coming to the game and what the F1 series needs to do to save the F1 franchise. But before we get into today's video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe, it really does help the channel out, it's the best way to support the channel, and let's get into the business. Now, first of all, a lot of these new features aren't officially confirmed. Obviously, we will still need to wait for EA to give us more information about what will be added to the game. But we do have a lot of rumours, and some are definitely confirmed. So first of all, Breaking Point, the F1 story mode is back. Obviously, we get the story every other year. But this year there is a few new things towards Breaking Point. Now previously, both of the Breaking Point story modes we've had so far have both been one linear story. However, in F1 25 you will be able to choose which driver in Breaking Point you can actually race as. And that will actually determine the outcome of what happens in the story. So there will be different endings to the story mode. As well as that, you will be able to race as the fictional Connor Sport team in both Driver Career Mode and My Team Career Mode. In previous games, we have been able to use the drivers from the story mode as icons in My Team, but this will be the first ever time we see a story mode driver in normal career mode. As well as that, it adds an 11th team to career mode, so there will be even more drivers on the grid, meaning obviously your career mode could be even crazier. Moving on, in F1 25 we are getting the highly anticipated My Team update, My Team 2.0. For anyone who has never played the F1 games, this is where you get to create your own team that will join the grid as an 11th team, and you will be both team principal and the driver. Now, we don't yet know what will be changing in My Team career mode. Obviously, we can assume that they will bring in the new contract system that was released for driver career mode in F1 24, and as well as that, there will be some form of owner perk system. However, other than that, we don't really have much information because obviously it's very early stages of the game's marketing. And we will just have to wait until EA posts more trailers and blog posts. Now, the next feature, we could be getting Formula 3 in F1 25. This would be the first time Formula 3 has ever been in the F1 games. However, this is definitely not confirmed. There's nothing about Formula 3 in the F1 25 trailer. The only link we have to this is if you purchase the Iconic edition of the game, you will get Formula 3 icons that you'll be able to use in the My Team career mode. Now, the next and final big feature that we currently have some rumours towards coming in F1 25 is the ability to race on tracks backwards. Again, same with the F3 rumour, we will have to wait for more news on the feature. However, this definitely has a higher probability because they actually showed some clips in the trailer of cars racing in the reverse layouts of the tracks. In the top left, we have a clip of the cars going backwards through Zandvoort Turn 3, and the bottom right, we have cars going backwards on one of the straights in Austria. Now, for our final bit of news about the F1 25 game, it has been confirmed that F1 25 will not be on old-gen consoles. Obviously, that means it won't be on the Xbox One, and it will not be on the PlayStation 4. Now, this is great because obviously we are set to be getting a new game engine some point in the future. However, this probably will negatively affect League Racing because obviously a lot of players who are on old-gen will no longer be able to play the new F1 game. And now we're going to talk about why F1 25 really does need to be a success for EA and Codemasters. So obviously, if you are in the F1 game community, you should already know over the past 5 years-ish, the F1 game has definitely been dropping in popularity. In 2020, the F1 game had a huge spike in playership, obviously because of the pandemic, but also, people were watching the Drive to Survive series and getting into the sport. However, since then, the game has been on a very steady decline. Now, obviously, F1 2021 was actually the start of the game losing popularity, but that was mainly because, obviously, COVID was going away, pandemics were getting lifted and all that. But then we had F1 22 with an awful handling system, and that kind of killed the anticipation for F1 23. Although F1 23 was a solid game and a step in the right direction, F1 24 ended up even worse than F1 22. Now, first of all, a huge part of his issue was mainly due to how the cars handle in-game. F122 probably had one of the worst handling models we have ever seen, with cars barely having any grip. Then F124 released, and for some reason the cars had insane amounts of grip where you could take corners full throttle that you should not be able to take. In addition to that, it seems like with EA coming into and owning the F1 games, we've seen the removal of fan-loved features and the addition of features no one asked for. So obviously, going from F1 2020 to F1 2021, we saw the removal of short circuits and historic cars. So you can no longer drive, let's say, Ayrton Senna's 1988 McLaren. And then in F1 22, for some reason, we got F1 Life, which was literally just a furniture simulator in a racing game. You basically had your own little room that you could decorate and, you could have sofas, carpet. It literally played no significance to the racing. As well as that, we had the addition of supercars. However, the supercars handled literally, the handling was actually insane on the supercars, how bad they were. They were so drifty. Like, no matter how fast you were going, you'd have no grip. Then we had F1 23, where F1 Life became F1 World, and it was kind of like Formula 1's version of FIFA Ultimate Team, where you have your own car, you get upgrades for your car that boost certain aspects, but the thing is, no one actually cared for the mode. In addition to that, F1 23, even though it had some good additions, it was very buggy. We had red flags finally added in F1 23. Yet they were completely bugged and broken at launch. As well as that, for some reason, they just decided to remove wet time trial. I have no idea why they removed it. It was such a pointless removal. And as well as that, F1 23 is when F1 started having a bit of a cheating problem. And if you go on any F1 time trial leaderboard, you can see there are definitely cheaters up there. Even on F1 24. We have, for an example, Japan and Silverstone, where you can go miles off track and still go seconds faster. As well as that, the F2 leaderboards, people have managed to glitch themselves onto those leaderboards in F1 cars. Another thing that F1 has definitely seen a huge decline in quality over the recent games is the AI. Obviously, you can race against the AI in career mode. However, the quality has dropped so much. In F1 22, the AI for some reason had ridiculous straight line speeds and acceleration out of corners, where it was basically impossible to keep up, depending on what setup you run. Now, a lot of this did get fixed in F1 23. However, in F1 24, there is a similar issue, but also AI racing is just extremely dull. It feels like because of the new ERS modes and the new handling, they didn't train the AI really well, meaning the AI don't even go for overtakes against other AI. The only time they'll try for an overtake is in a straight line. And most of the time, they just end up in huge trains of cars because they are not trained with the new handling and the ERS system. And finally, with EA acquiring the F1 games, that means microtransactions. Yeah, the game was full of microtransactions. We used to have a podium pass. Well, we do have a podium pass, which is kind of like a battle pass. And all customization items but basically we only get 2 liveries per podium pass now, and we used to get at least 5. And obviously they shoved it all behind a paywall, mainly just to try and force microtransactions onto the new F1 world, which no one even played. And because of this huge decline in the F1 game popularity, F1 24 is probably the worst game in the F1 franchise. And it is an extremely low for the F1 franchise. But the thing is, the F1 franchise can easily save itself. First of all, handling. We need to actually get, obviously, realistically, it is an arcade racing game. So we need to get a handling model that is somewhat realistic, but also arcadey and, alright for newer players to actually use and pick up. As well as that, AI definitely need to be improved. Obviously, career mode. What is the point of racing in career mode if a racing is absolutely boring? This is a racing game. We want to have fun battles on track. And another thing, microtransactions. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think EA have noticed this, but the F1 game community could not care less about microtransactions. I'd say half of the F1 game community don't even touch career mode. They're mainly just league races, which doesn't even involve customizing how your car looks. And then the other 50%, a bunch of them are on PC anyway and use mods because the livery customization in this game is just not it. I really feel like, I think in the F1 game, we really need some sort of like Forza Horizon livery creator where people can share their liveries. Because if you're playing on a console, now obviously I play on console, it is so dull. You can't have custom sponsors, you can't have, you know, custom team logos, as in like actual real world manufacturer logos. Now obviously that is probably due to licensing, but I mean, come on, it's just boring. But at the end of the day, I do feel like F1 25 could be a solid F1 game because basically Codemasters have this development cycle where they have two studios. One studio makes for even number of F1 games, one studio makes for the odd number of F1 games. Now previously, F1 23 and F1 21 were both solid F1 games, meaning F1 25 probably should be a solid F1 game. I also think the game studio that is, the development team that is working on F1 25, they are a lot better at listening to criticism and actually fixing bugs. But anyway, here are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on how the F1 franchise needs to succeed, and those are all the new features that we know of so far that has come into F1 25. Now, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please do let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Obviously, I'm not moving away from Call of Duty videos. This is just another game that I've always played a lot, and I'm probably going to get back into if it actually turns out to be a nice handling game. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. Honestly, all subs and likes, highly appreciated. You guys are the absolute best. And with all that being said, I've been Christux. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.